Day 36 on Road to a Million. Just wanted to make a quick video today before showering and going to see the movie, just to give a little bit of an update. So, yeah, I rewatched one of the videos that I did the other day from my little adventure, and I absolutely loved it. Like, it brought me so much joy and happiness to see me happy again, and to see me like actually enjoying my days, because I haven't felt like that in a very, very long time. So me rewatching that video and realizing that there are no rules and that I get to create my own rules for what I do with my life instead of following, say, a traditional career path or having to do what somebody else is telling me to do. I don't have to do those things. I can make my own destiny for my own self, which is absolutely incredible. And I think it's part of the reason why I ran into some of the girls the other day on the top of the mountain, because they brought up the fact, and who knows, maybe they were just saying these, but they're like talking about how it's like, oh, there's a main character, and they're like, how is nobody talking about aliens? And then it was also like, maybe those are the NPCs, because I was like, how do we know that aliens actually would look like aliens? Like, what if we've already met aliens and we just don't necessarily know it? Because how do we know that aliens look the way that we think we do when our thoughts are just our thoughts? Like, nothing's really outside of us. Everything's really just inside of us internally. And once we overcome that and realize that, then everything we really see is just going to be seen in the way that we want to see it. So we could see aliens, we could see Bigfoot, we could see the Loch Ness Monster, we could see anything that we want to see, because everybody has their own beliefs. Some Native Americans believe that cameras steal their souls. Like, everybody's going to believe what they believe, and that's essentially why I make videos, is because I want to show you that it's okay for you to believe what you believe. Just don't bring anybody else down for believing what they believe. Like, obviously question them, just as I hope everybody questions me on my beliefs as well. And like, it's to a certain extent. Like, I mean, you don't want to question them in the wrong manner. You want to question them in a way that makes sense, in a way that doesn't demean them as a person, but more gets them to think in a different way, or possibly think about something that they might not have considered originally. So me running into the girls on top of the mountain that I was talking about yesterday and just a second ago, like, one of them was like, yeah, I'll manage your social media for you. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, I didn't think I needed somebody for that, but I'm like, if she's the one that's managing the content and doing all that work on my side, like, then I can just primarily focus on making the content. I think that'll help out a lot, because, like I said, I'm going to be taking off this week and like a day or two or something like that, I believe is what I had. Use up the rest of my PTO to actually test this out and see if this is what I want to do. Like, I know that it is, just because of how much joy and happiness that I felt being out in the mountains and not having to worry about making X amount of calls, or having to do, like, having this like overbearing, like, just need over me. Like, you have to do this, otherwise you're going to get canned type of thing. And I ran into another couple on the top of the mountain the other day as well too. And it was funny because I was talking with a woman by the fire, and she was telling me that her son also does content as well online, and he has a couple of videos, and it's just like, she doesn't necessarily 100%, like, she approves of it, but she doesn't. She's like, you know that there's going to be that digital footprint of you online forever. And it's like, he does. But she's like, anybody that knows this person, like, that's just who he is. That's just what he does. There's always going to be generations above us, like my parents, my grandparents, everybody else that's going to, I guess, quote unquote, judge me in a sense for going down this path and taking this journey. But it's essentially what we just grew up with. It's how we were. It's what we've always done. Like, I always created videos ever since I was a kid. I've always created movies, and there's a memory that I have of my dad being like, hey, what are you doing, Caleb? You're making a movie, and it makes me very happy to think of that. So I figure I might as well actually make movies, and if I need to hire an editor to do a lot of the work for me, by all means, I might make the first couple of videos myself. I'm still trying to balance between, like, I want to do short forms. I at least have a short form video every single day. Like, that I need to do. And those obviously I can plan out in advance, like I have been doing on the anime channel. So I can do like 5 shorts on a weekend or something like that, and I might be able to even possibly do 2 shorts. It's just I have a goal right now to be able to essentially be monetized by the end of this year. So that's 90 days essentially. It's doable, and that's why, like, I'll test this week out, give it a go, see what I can do, see what I can come up with, see what content I can make. And I'm still trying to figure out, like, the avatar. I feel like I'm the avatar essentially. So it's like me being myself, like somebody that was struggling or in my shoes that like has a little, like they have a light within them, but it's just needing to be like sparked essentially. So it's the avatar is like, I want to say people that know that they're meant for more in life, and I know that's not like a really specific type of person. I'm still trying to, I guess, figure out the exact type of person, but I feel like with me creating the content and the months that I have spent like questioning people, like, hey, if somebody came up and asked you to be on a video or answer a question, like, would you? And they're like, yeah, like if I was sitting around like this, by all means. And then the people that I run into as well, like, hey, can I join you? And it's like, yeah, cool. Some people are gonna be like, oh, hey, it's an aspiring YouTuber, and I can't get offended by that because I kind of am. Like, I mean, that's what I'm gonna be doing essentially. So I just had to realize that no matter what somebody says, like they don't know me, they don't know who I am. I know who I am. My convictions are strong. My beliefs are strong. I'm willing to question them if somebody's willing to like come over here and like challenge me. And that's why the quote that Alex Hormozy said, where it's like, we question the beliefs that we don't believe, but the beliefs that we truly do believe, we never decide to question. And those were the beliefs that I had to question, the beliefs that I truly did believe of how the world worked and how we have rules and procedures and certain ways of doing things. And I do believe that there's like a genuine, like there's principles and facts that like the universe, the world abides by, but like other things are socially constructed. Lots of things are socially constructed. Before then, we didn't really have those things. So it's like going back prior to that point in time, before all the social construct of what made a person who a person was, or like lights or words or whatever any of those other things are, like those ones are not rules like speed limits, stopping, like those are guidelines essentially, like laws more or less, not universal laws. Universal laws are universal. Normal laws, like there are no rules. Like you can make as much money as you want. You can dream as big as you want to dream. There's nothing stopping you other than yourself. It's just a matter of thinking about it in the ways that you want to think about it. Like I think that everybody can be a main character, and I like to be able to help everybody become a main character because I think a lot of people are stuck being NPCs essentially right now, and that's perfectly okay. You can look at it in a different way as well too. If you think of it as everybody's like a common folk, and in reality everybody's God. So there's multiple different ways and avenues and different versions of how you can say one specific thing. It's just a matter of how do you want to say that thing, and that's why words are so powerful, because you can say it one way and it can mean something completely different. Sales taught me that. So I guess the big takeaway for today is my main focus is just to focus on making YouTube videos. And from one of the courses that I was listening to is like, most successful people are those that who can hold a particular thought and keep it in mind. And like, that's essentially the essence of motivation. So like the yogi's definition of motivation is to hold on to one specific thing or one thought. And this results in seeing it as motivation from others. And there's a good video series there's a good video series that I would highly recommend all of you check out. It's The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And he essentially talks about how, like, the strangest secret is you become what you think about. Descartes said the same thing. I think, therefore I am. There's all these different people that have come to the same conclusion as I've come to, just in a different way and saying it in a different manner. So if everybody's saying the same thing, most likely it's true. When a very small minority of people say that something is true, then it's typically not true, at least from my own personal experience, from what I've been able to come to realize. So yeah, it's just wanted to make sure I got what I needed to. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just under the impression, I'm like, I might as well try, I might as well give it my all. I have at least enough money. Like I ran the numbers today. Currently right now I have $72,582,086 to my name. That's including like investments in like my normal personal stock account. So if I minus 14,000-ish from that, sorry, 15, let's say 16 because 15.5 because I did some crypto in there as well. But we'll just make it an even 15, I suppose. So I mean, if I subtracted that cash on hand, like liquidity right now, what would that be? This minus 2 is 3, so we have 57. So I got 57. And if I did my math right, which I know I did, if I need to make an extra, if I don't make any money for a full year, then yes, I would go into the negative. It's just I know that if I do need a helping hand from someone for me to be able to pursue this for like 1 month, if I need somebody to cover my rent for a month, or if I need somebody to help me eat or whatever it may be, I know that my family will front me that cash if I needed to for a given month. I know it won't come to that. I'm just saying that if I had to, like I could, I know it won't come to it, because if I can't, then I'll go hustle and find a different way to make a little bit of extra cash on the side and do some odd jobs. Because one of the lectures that I was listening today was around like how people with ADHD, and maybe I do have some general realm of ADHD, not 100% sure, but I also could not. But essentially what that lecture was talking about was we essentially, like, the systems creates farmers and not hunters, whereas Bill Gates is a hunter. Sorry, Bill Gates is a farmer because he just had a career of Microsoft, whereas the wealthiest man in the world, Elon Musk, is a hunter because he has odd jobs. He did SpaceX. He has the Boring Company. He has Tesla. Like, he did eBay. Like, he has odd jobs. He's always just found different options or different jobs that he's always wanted to pursue, and that's what he does. And he seems to be the most successful person out there. So if I listen to successful people and what other successful people say, I feel like it leaves clues. I wouldn't be at this place if I didn't listen to what they were saying. So I figure I might as well just kind of take the insight from what they have and follow along their path. And essentially what I'm doing with me leaving my job is I'm buying my freedom. And that's what I've been working for. Like, that's been my goal, is to be able to buy my freedom. So in a sense, I am retiring young, like from corporate America essentially. But there's no buts, actually. I'm retiring young from corporate America to be able to pursue what I want to pursue, be my own boss and have my own ownership, because everybody that I talk to that is wealthy, that has had success, that has had fulfillment, like, they own something, they do something that they truly want to do. And I figure I might as well do that. So if I have to, and the expenses that I added in for the Excel sheet, if I do say, like, have everything, and if I stay in this apartment, which I was even telling the other person that on top of the mountain, told a couple of people, like, I've come up with backup plan after backup plan after backup plan to ensure that I don't have to go back to corporate America, to ensure that, because, like, now I have a skill, like, I have a skill of selling, so I can always just go sell something for somebody else and at least make the $3,000 a month that I need to, because I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, it's right around that number. Sheets. Yeah, so I do expense reports for myself to see, like, where I am monthly, annually type of thing. I think everybody should do that. Not everybody does, but it's really helped me out because I like numbers. So yeah, essentially right now I average about $3,000 a month or so, and I believe that's what I had over here. Yeah, so rent and then gas and subscription was about $2,000. So I mean, well, that says, like, if I do, it's around like 5,000 ish or so, I was saying, a month, more or less, was what I had. That's with, like, having a social media manager, which could pay $400. So I mean, it's an extra $100 a week. Like, I mean, it's not much, but it's really all I can do for right now. And then if I had a video editor, another $400 a month, so that's $800, and then $900. So, like, I'll be tapping it. If I have to tap into my savings, I'll tap into my savings. I don't see it coming to that, because my work ethic and the drive and the focus that I have and what I've been able to prove for myself of being able to climb the corporate ladder in the 2 years, and then me having the dream or the vision, the manifestation, however you want to look at whatever word that you want to use or that you believe in, have that come true after my birthday when I was out in the desert. And I told the story in a couple of other videos. I can't remember the exact day it was. But essentially, I visioned myself at a party. I thought it was my birthday party, but it was just a party in general where, like, I got everybody together, which I kind of did do that for this, now that I think about it. I got everybody together, and then I just let them have their fun while I came down and I sat in the room by myself, essentially. And that's exactly what happened on the boat cruise when I went out there. So, and that took essentially 3 months to complete. So I figure if I was able to do that in 3 months. I should be able to become monetized in 3 months as well, which is just 4,000 watch hours and then 1,000 subs, which is simple enough. And then as long as I can have enough, like all I really need right now to start out is just that $3,000 a month essentially to be able to. I don't even need 3,000. Like I could do off of 2,000. Like I just need at least enough to cover my rent. And even if I don't get that within that time, then I'll start selling things and I'll start living out of my car. Like I don't see it coming to that. I actually know that it won't come to that because of my work ethic and my willingness to make sure that I never fail on any such thing. So, yeah, I'm going to take off this next week. I'm going to take a break and actually like go create some more content and then come back and edit some of it as well myself, see what I can come up with, see if it's something that like I'd rather do myself personally, but the plan is like have shorts Monday through Friday. Well, have shorts 7 days a week, have hopefully 1 to 2 long form videos, I would say, per week is the plan for right now. And then like I'd like to be able to do daily vlogs if possible. It's just I don't know if it might be better to, I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to test that out, see if it's better to do daily vlogs or weekly vlogs or what it will be. And then, yeah, I think that should be good. So, it's the beginning of something new. It's the beginning of me putting something new in. And I did realize this too. Like, it took me forever to leave my corporate, like my government job. That was easy. Like, it was great. Like, it was video editing. It took me, and I felt terrible, like horrible, like having to put in my letter of resignation, but I knew that it was time for me to move on. And I'm feeling the exact same way now. Like, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to go on to this next challenge. Because when I did go on to the next challenge for sales, like I had never sold anything, like except for little stuff in college, and I believed that I could sell. So that's exactly what I did. I sold my ass off, and I worked harder than anybody else at the company to be able to deliver the results that nobody has ever seen before. So if I was able to do that, why can't I also create a successful YouTube channel? I have the money to last me a year. And if worst comes to worst, if this time comes around next year and I haven't made any progress, I'll go get another job. I don't know what else to tell you. But, yeah. You guys have a good one.